What kind of family raised Shohei Ohtani?
Have you ever thought about Shohei Ohtani? Rather than being harshly scolded, he spent his childhood freely and openly. A family that cherished being natural guided him to grow into a humble and unpretentious person. The accumulation of those everyday moments within the small stage of family life eventually nurtured the talent that would go on to astonish the world.
Breaking news, 99% of viewers forgot to subscribe. Yes, I mean you. Please subscribe.
The home that shaped Ohtani.
Ohtani was born and raised in Oshu City, Iwate Prefecture. Located in Japan's Tohoku region, surrounded by rich nature. He grew up with his father Toru, his mother Kayoko, his older brother Ryuta, who is 7 years older, and his sister Yuka, who is 2 years older. As the youngest of 3 siblings, Shohei was known to be affectionate, but also someone who never lost his own pace. In elementary school, he would sometimes keep playing after recess ended, get carried away, and be scolded for being late to class. He once laughed and said, "When I was little, I often got in trouble with my teachers." It was in those carefree, playful moments that his free-spirited sensitivity grew. His father, Toru, was once a high school baseball player who dreamed of Koshien. After graduation, he joined the Mitsubishi Heavy Industries Yokohama team, but gave up on a professional career at age 24 and chose a new path. He thought, if we stayed in the city, it would be hard to own a house. And if my kids want to play baseball, it's better in the countryside. So he decided to return to his hometown in Iwate. There, he began coaching local children in youth baseball. Shohei, watching his father from a young age, said, "I learned all the basics, like batting, from my dad." To this day, he still sees his father as the person who guided him and deeply trusts him. Shohei's mother, Kayoko, also has a strong athletic background. In junior high, she competed in the national badminton tournament and later played for Mitsubishi Heavy Industries badminton team. She was even talented enough to compete for a spot on the Japanese national team against the famous Kimiko Jinai. With Toru standing at 182 centimeters and Kayoko at 170 centimeters, Shohei inherited their tall genes and grew to an impressive 193 centimeters, towering by Japanese standards. He often jokes, "I owe my height to my parents," and it's easy to believe. His brother Ryuta continued baseball after high school, playing in club teams and independent leagues. Today, he is active with Toyota Motor East Japan's baseball team, and in January 2025, he even became the team's manager. As a former outfielder, he now uses his experience to help train young players. His sister Yuka works as a nurse, and in a heartwarming twist, she chose as her life partner none other than Shohei's high school coach. A storybook-like connection where family and mentor became one. At their wedding, Shohei gave a speech filled with sincerity and warmth, moving the hearts of everyone in the room. Throughout Shohei's rise to the world stage, his family has always quietly supported him. His parents have consistently avoided the spotlight, saying, "We don't want to cause him trouble with family matters. We just want him to focus on baseball." Even when he won MVP at the WBC, they stayed quietly in the stands, never stepping in front of the media. Without flashy words or showy behavior, what existed was a strong and unshakable bond. A family that always stood by his side, quietly, steadily. That has been the true source of Shohei's strength. And nowhere was that family bond felt more warmly and clearly than at Yuka's wedding. Even just hearing this much, some of you might be thinking, of course a superstar's family is on another level. But maybe you also felt a kind of warmth or a sense of familiarity that reminds you of your own family. What do you think? Let us know in the comments.
The family roots that shaped Ohtani's character.
Shohei Ohtani's warmth and humility shine through not only in the way he plays, but also in his every word and action. It's no wonder many people have wondered what kind of family raised him. His father, Toru, once said in an interview, "I hardly ever remember scolding Shohei." Of course, like most siblings, they often fought, but he never harshly blamed one child over the other. He explained, since they were close in age, Shohei would fight a lot with his sister and brother. But it was always over little things. I'd just tell them both, "Come on, that's enough." And that was it. Other than that, I don't recall ever getting mad at Shohei. Shohei himself has also reflected on this, saying, "I think the only times my dad scolded me were on the baseball field. At home, he almost never got angry. At home, he was allowed to be free. On the field, his father faced him with seriousness. That balance may be what helped shape his inner strength." His mother, Kayoko, also valued her children's independence. She once said, "There was never really a rebellious phase. None of them ever acted out for no reason, or had bad attitudes. Not just Shohei, but all three of the kids were like that." The Ohtani family always cherished their time together, but they weren't unusually close, nor did they force themselves to spend time together. As Kayoko explained, it was simply the natural flow of everyday life. "We weren't especially close as a family, but we only had one TV at home. Because of that, everyone naturally gathered in the living room and watched together. To be honest, we couldn't really afford to put TVs in the kids' rooms, but thanks to that, we were able to spend more time together as a family." Growing up as the youngest, watching his older brother and sister also played a big part in Shohei's development. Shohei was a lively child. Outside, he was full of energy, and he had the toughness never to cry in front of others. But by watching his brother and sister, he learned things like, "If I do this, it will upset my parents." I think he held back at times because of that. Maybe he became a little too much of a good boy, Kayoko recalls. Through these small, everyday experiences, Shohei naturally came to understand his role in the family, building a deep foundation of trust with them. And that bond continues unbroken to this day. In the off-season, Kayoko still cooks homemade meals, freezes them, and delivers them to Shohei's apartment in Tokyo. He has said, "I think my mom really let me be free. Even now she supports me, and I'm just endlessly grateful." His words carry a simple but genuine love and appreciation. Now, with both his mother, Kayoko, and his wife, Mamiko, by his side, Shohei seems to have two women who strongly support him and push him forward in his career. No matter how much success he achieves, he never becomes arrogant, and he never loses his balance. If you search for the reason why, it may come down to the gentle way his family raised him, never forcing, always supporting. That natural kindness and sense of security within his family shaped who he is. It's the kind of warmth we can all relate to. And in the next chapter, we'll take a closer look at the unique parenting philosophy in the Ohtani household that lies at the root of this kindness.
Raised by what parents didn't do.
In recent years, more and more Japanese athletes have been shining on the world stage. Players like Hinako Shibuno in golf, Yuzuru Hanyu in figure skating, and, of course, Shohei Ohtani. What they share in common is not just talent or skill, but a flexibility of heart nurtured from a young age. That inner strength may be what allows them to keep moving forward, even in the harsh world of elite competition. Sports writer Taeko Yoshi once said in an interview, "There's something all top athletes' parents have in common. They don't scold their children outright, and they don't deny their children's own ideas." Ohtani's family seems to have embodied those very words. Toru Ohtani never forced Shohei to play baseball. He said, It was completely different from Ichiro, who practiced with his father from morning until night at a batting center. Instead, he focused on creating an environment where Shohei could enjoy baseball. Having once pursued a professional career himself, Toru wanted his son to love baseball freely. Another remarkable part of their family life was a promise between Toru and Kyoko. Never argue in front of the children. Toru explained, if parents fight, children feel uncomfortable and start reading their parents' expressions. That's why we made sure to keep the home atmosphere bright. As a result, Shohei never really went through a rebellious phase. He even shared baths with his father until he was in second grade. Because home was a place where he could be himself without fear, he may have gained the confidence to take on the world outside. This style of parenting is not unique to the Ohtani family. Hinako Shibuno's father, Satoru, shared a similar approach. When she didn't feel like practicing, I'd say, then let's skip today. For golf, enjoying it is the most important thing, he said. He valued his daughter's willingness and watched over her without pressuring her. Satoru also never interfered with her coaches. If parents voice their own opinions on what the child is being taught, it creates confusion and slows progress. So, I never said anything. Choosing not to act is simple in theory, but difficult in practice. And yet, this choice allowed children to grow freely and authentically. Not forcing, not overly managing, simply believing and watching over them. That way of loving is at the root of Ohtani's character and athletic ability. Educational psychologist Hayao Kawai wrote in his book, "Sending children to cram school or having them take piano lessons to get into a good school often reflects a mindset of adding more. But what's truly important is letting children enjoy what they want to do. Ohtani's freedom, sincerity, and inner strength may not have been nurtured by adding, but by his parents' choice of not doing. It reminds us how difficult and precious it is to trust and watch over someone."
Thanks for watching all the way through. What did you think? Feel free to share your thoughts in the comments. We'd love to hear from you. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and join us as we continue to follow Shohei Ohtani's incredible journey. See you in the next one.